Hello, everybody.
All
Welcome
right.
back to Music and Beyond podcast. I am Ernie. Today, I have Tristan from Forge the Sun. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. Where are you guys from? You guys are from the Detroit area, right?
Yep. We're from east side of Detroit.
Hey, how's the hip hop scene on that side?
It's pretty good. There's a really good it's like the whole scene's really eclectic. You can pretty much find any style of music that you're looking for around
Wow, that's
Detroit.
yeah. And do you guys like maybe like collaborate and stuff? Like, are the scenes nice to each other and stuff out there?
Yeah, there's like uh you know, I would say a lot of the mentality, I think, not for everybody, but I do come across a lot of people where it's like, um, they want to collaborate. The mentality is like high tides raise all sails kind of thing. Um, and yeah, like I think of it, for example, my friend Kyler, who I actually became friends with because he was in the scene. He's a producer. He owns a studio called Zero and One Studios, and he played in some bands. And he's doing this thing where he basically has people in, and sometimes he'll do it for free. He has them in. He does this really high end recording of like their performances and stuff. And he kind of looks at it as like, all right, cool. I get to meet bands and record awesome music. They share his studio stuff out there. So yeah, there's a lot of like collaboration, for instance, there. Because to put out that kind of quality media takes a lot of talent, and then you need the talent of the musicians too. Um, I do see a lot of collaborating. I've done some collaborating with musicians in the scene, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You get your like obviously like every place has like I feel like every place has like cliques and stuff, but for the most part, it's a pretty healthy like um, bunch of positive people. I think it's a pretty cool scene. It's really the music's really diverse. There's just so many different styles too. So you end up maybe playing a style or writing something that you wouldn't have had you just kind of stayed in your own lane. So I like it. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
really cool. I think it's super, so
That's amazing,
yeah.
bro. I love that. I love that. That's cool. And how did Forge the Sun get started, and what brought you guys together as a band?
So Forge the Sun got started. So I teach music. I went to school for music, and that's actually my job now. I'm a music director, and I teach at private lessons too. So I was teaching at Grosse Point Music Academy, private lessons, and one of my coworkers said that she had a student that had this really interesting voice and was trying to encourage her to start gigging and playing. An older student, and she was surprised that she hadn't done that before. And her teacher asked me, said, do you know anyone that might be interested playing with her? And I was like, I wanted I wanted to start gigging more and playing just more pop music. I was studying jazz and classical music at the time, and I kind of just wanted to do more. I'm one of those people. I love all different types of music, and I didn't have a lot of experience, playing singer songwriter kind of stuff, or really even writing music that was in that style. So I said I'd be interested, and then that's how I met Allie. That student was Allie, and so
Oh, okay.
yeah, we got together. Yeah, we got together. We jammed a little bit, and we played like what was it? What was was that like the Cranberries Zombie? Right, we played that, played a couple other tunes. Um, And yeah, I thought she had a really good voice, and we started playing like duos, like duo gigs. I should say
Yeah.
duets. Uh, and then eventually we started writing music, and we thought it would sound really cool with a full band. And we found our bass player. The bass player is my cousin, and he's super talented. And he had never played bass before, but he's like at the time he was in high school, and he was an all state cellist. And I tried giving him a guitar lesson once. I remember he just absolutely killed it. So I guess I just felt really comfortable just asking him like, "Hey, would you want to play bass in this band?" Like I didn't think it would actually be a big feat for him to learn how to play bass because he was just a really musical kid. Um, and that's Barrett, our bass player, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll play bass." So I think he learned like 40 songs in like 3 weeks, and then we played a gig with our drummer at the time was Matt Fickney, and yeah, we just did a lot of cover gigs, and then we again kept writing music, and then eventually the original stuff kind of took more priority over the cover stuff. We still play cover gigs. Stuff pays really well, and it's really fun. Um, but yeah, that's how it kind of came to be. Our current drummer, he's not the original drummer, but he's our current drummer. He's been playing with us for about a year and a half now, a year and a half, 2 years. We came across him because he was also a drummer in the scene. So that's another kind of going back to your first question about the scene and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd seen him play with the band, with his older band, A Chronicle, and they're a really great metalcore band. And I was like, dude, we should just hit him up and see if he wants to jam. Not like poach him or anything. Just see if he'd be like, down to just jam and just, see how the vibes are and see how he sounds with the music. So that's Isaac. That's the drummer we have right now, and he's incredible. He's awesome. So, and that's the lineup right now. That's where everybody's at.
That's awesome, dude. And that's one thing that I noticed about uh like oh, in the first album that you guys released in 2023, was it the same drummer?
No, it was a different drummer. So that guy, that drummer was Pat. I think his last name is Blomel. He's
Yeah.
really great. We've been blessed to have a lot of awesome drummers. That the 2023, yeah, the first album, that was Pat. He's more of like a funk drummer, and he's incredible too. He played on that album, and then our first drummer Matt played on Nature and played on the
Oh,
EP.
okay.
So like, there's some variety there. Like, yeah, you can kind of find there's little, the nuances are for sure there in terms of the differences, and what they contribute. But Isaac's on he's on the most recent song Peanut. He's on
Yeah.
Fall and Rot, and then he's on the live album we put out, and then we have a new single dropping at midnight, and he's on that too. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about
yeah,
that because I saw your post on Facebook, and it's like we have a surprise for you guys, and I was just like, oh man, I wonder what it is. Like new album, new single,
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, we didn't really, we kind of wanted to. We promoted Peanut so much, like there was so much pre-release promotion with that one, so we kind of just wanted to. I'm telling you now, but we haven't really told anyone else. Like it's just we were just, I don't know, man. We picked out the date to drop it, and the next thing you know, it's like, oh shit, like it's already dropping tonight. Peanut was a lot more hold up. The single we're dropping tonight, Decay. That one we just kind of like. I don't want to say we lost track of time. I just feel like we wanted to try a different approach with it. And then for me, it's just kind of like next thing I knew, I was like, well, okay, that is dropping tonight. And then once it drops, we'll promote it more. But yeah, I'm really excited about that one. I love the drumming and just the vocal harmonies and the whole rhythm section on that song is super tight. It's really different from what we've done before. So I would say it's kind of like if you like old school emo, like Sunny Day Real Estate, if you like Deftones, and if you like Alice in Chains, it's like all three of those kind of vibes.
That's sick. I'm actually pretty excited because I mean I like a little bit of Deftones, but I'm not like a huge fan. But that's cool.
Yeah, I think the influences are like is there. There's even like I don't know if can you hear my guitar?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's like this cool intro. it just kind of keeps going. That kind of reminded. That's like almost like an '80s like new wave kind of synthy, especially the production on it. So there's like some other stuff happening in there, and I think if you don't like Deftones or if you only like some of their stuff, like the influence is apparent, but I think you'll enjoy it because it's very much diet Deftones. You know, it's we like them, but there's a lot more stuff going on there. You know, so I'd be interested. I want to hear your thoughts on it. It's a cool vibe. I liked it a lot.
Dude, honestly, I'm excited because like literally I'm getting three new singles tonight because we're getting the single from you guys. My friend Matt Cantu is releasing some stuff from his solo stuff. And The Last Days of War, which also happen to be a friend of mine, they're releasing a cover to Bulls on Parade tonight,
Oh, sick.
like on midnight. So like I guess I'm gonna have a night of music tonight.
Sweet, dude. Where are all those guys? Where are they all based out of? Are they like in your area, or where are they from?
No, The Last Days of War, they're from California. Matt Cantu is
Okay.
from Matt Cantu is from Corpus Christi, South Texas, and well, you guys are from Michigan, so let's
Hey,
go.
cool. Nice. I'll check those out. Maybe I can put like a playlist together or something and title it like the Music Beyond playlist or something like that. I don't know. Just add those
Yeah,
songs to it. I'd love to connect with those guys.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
Maybe I should make a playlist for like maybe like TikTok homies and just music homies.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be sweet. We would share the shit out of it, and yeah, you being kind of like the connecting fabric. That'd be pretty cool. I'd be down. And are
Yeah.
all those guys on Instagram too?
They're what?
Are they all on Instagram?
Yeah, they're all on Instagram too.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we'll share it up all over there. But yeah, I'd love to check them out. The Bulls on Parade. That's awesome. Um, be interesting to hear. I think the vocals, hearing different vocals on there, and then just hearing any kind of arrangement choices that they do, um, would that's what I'm probably gonna be looking for because that's like such a famous song. You know exactly how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I heard it, I'm like, why does Killing on the Name of sound so different? But then I was just like, wait a minute, this is Bulls on Parade, like totally different song. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's the jam. Um,
And
Sweet.
oh, what's up? Oh, yeah. And why did you guys choose the name Towards the Sun? Was there a reason or does it have a meaning to you guys?
Well, like for starters, Allie came up with it. We had like, we did the thing where we had like two full pages of like, band names, and we were tossing stuff back and forth. Um, we were originally called the Nine, and that's like looking back on it, it's a pretty dumb name, but like we were that, and then we found out there was another band called the Nine, which I'm sure there are a million bands called the Nine. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah. Um, but we had found out there was a band called the Nine that also dropped music literally like on Spotify within like a month of us. So we were like, well, um, luckily it was just like a demo. It's our like debut EP, but it's like really a demo. Though it was there's some stuff on there I really like, but it's really just kind of like a really rough mix and really raw. I don't think it's like bad or anything. It's not like particularly good. But it's basically a demo we dropped, and we're like, well, if we're gonna do a full album and do higher production stuff, we want to make sure that people hear it and they don't confuse us with someone else. So that's how the conversation started. Allie came up with Forge the Sun, and I really liked that. I just think the imagery of creating a piece of music, right, and putting all your energy into it, um, or just a piece of art, right? I kind of picture someone, yeah, like forging a sun, right? One of the most powerful things in the universe. Um,
Yeah.
Wait, for an artist, that is kind of what that is for them, at least someone who cares about their art. That's That's a big part. Or maybe that's redundant to say, I don't know, but like, um, that's how we ended up on the name. And then we hired an artist to do some art for us. And they took the name and made it a literal picture. And it's pretty sick. It's like this like bearded, like, I don't know, he almost looks like he's like this ripped like blacksmith, and he's got this big beard, and he's got a hammer, and it looks like he's literally forging a sun, like a sun on like a what is it, the blacksmith, the anvil, right?
Oh
So
wow, that's crazy.
yeah, yeah, it's cool. So that's something I kind of always imagine when I hear the name. But yeah, and I didn't feel like it also put us in any boxes too, because that could be proggy, that could be rock and roll. We do a bunch of different styles. We all love a lot of the same music, but we all love totally different music. And I want to be in a group where we can write any style that
Different,
we're feeling like, you know.
yeah, different stuff like different sounds, different. Yeah, I love that. I love that honestly, because like one thing that one band I saw this video where they were talking about bands that kind of just kept to the same style of music, and Chevelle was one of them. And then I was just like, huh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, yeah, and like there's yeah for sure like, and that's like, I mean, the bands I like, a lot of them do just kind of stick to one style. I'm just like, maybe it's just my attention span. I listen to so many different styles, and I have so many different moods. Um, and like if you look at my record collection, I just have, God, I've got everything from jazz to rock to blues, and every now and then I'll get this classical guitar kick. I study jazz in college. I love old school blues. I love blues rock. I love hardcore. I love like beat down hardcore stuff. Like bands like Terror and like Drain. I love stuff like that. But then I love like 70s prog stuff. So Genesis, Rush. Rush is one of my favorite bands. So yeah, I was really cool with it because of that too. I don't know what was the exact moment for Allie. I don't think she's ever really told me, or maybe I wasn't listening. I'm guilty of that. But yeah, no, that was just it, dude. I just thought it was cool. And also, like, if we wanted to play a cover gig and make, $500-600 playing at a bar for a few hours, it's kind of hard to get hired when your name is like, Infant Annihilator or something.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
if
yeah, of
that's
course.
if your name is like super offensive or like graphic, it's like no one's gonna hire you to like play like Journey or like Deep Purple or whatever. So I just thought Forge the Sun was like badass, but also like tame enough, Upon a Burning
Yeah.
Body, something like that. I'm not saying those are bad bands or anything. It's just the name is like really committed to the sound. And you mentioned playing one style, like I think you're all in at that point when you have a name like that, or at least a lot of bands are. So yeah, I like the flexibility of it because I love making money if I can. Playing music, dude, making money, playing music, seeing people dance and have fun. That's it, man. If I'm playing CCR, like, sorry, I'm in drop D right now, but doesn't really matter, dude. Like, I love playing music, and that's how I kind of see myself as a musician first, and yeah, I want people to have fun. So, but yeah, that was kind of how we settled on that.
That's awesome, dude. I love that. And Forge the Sun is really cool. Is a really cool name because like the image, like the imagination is just like infinite because you could think of so many ways to imagine a sun being forged.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, almost like a god or something, holding a sun and like molding it and stuff, forging it, or like a human being forging it on a blacksmith or whatever your imagination says.
Sexy,
But
yeah.
yeah, that's why I liked it. But that was all Allie. So I'm glad you dig the name.
Yeah, how would you guys describe your sound to somebody that has never heard about you guys?
I would say like because we have so many different sounds, we don't. It's not like we don't do it to be like, and I don't feel like it's contrived or anything. I really do feel like it's we all love different styles of music. I would just say like the umbrella of our music is it's heavy, heavy progressive rock from Detroit, or heavy Detroit prog rock. Um, I just I don't want to tell someone it's just prog rock or just rock and roll, and then they hear like our hardcore song. You know what I mean? Or like they're listening to Peanut, and all of a sudden she's doing those guttural vocals. And but I also don't think we're like full on, you know, uh, beat down hardcore, death metal, whatever. We're there's a lot of pop influences for sure in the music. So yeah, just like heavy progressive rock, from Detroit is how I would describe it. Heavy prog rockers, I think, is our description on Spotify. So I like that.
Oh, really? That's funny. Heavy prog
Yeah,
rockers.
yeah.
And who are some of your biggest music influences, especially in the progressive rock or metal scene?
I would say like one of my favorite guitar players. I would say just playing it. I like Alex Lifeson's one of my favorite. Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath. Um, let's see who else. Brent Hines from Mastodon. It's one of my favorite. Like, and those are just like metal guys. I got really into like Matt Pike from High on Fire and Sleep. Like, he's a great guitar player. I was kind of blown away, and I'm a big Mastodon fan. That's my favorite band of all time. So he's influenced me quite a bit the last year and a half, couple of years. But yeah, Tony Iommi, Alex Lifeson. I really like Alvin Lee. He's from this band called 10 Years After. He's incredible. Guys that aren't really metal and rock, like BB King. Freddie King is like one of my favorite blues guitar players. I love his playing.
Oh, sick.
So, yeah, I love him. His playing is so sick, dude. And then like jazz guitar, I recently started like really digging into Barney Kessel, which like he's an amazing, like he's awesome. I'm late to the party on that one, but yeah, Barney Kessel, and trying to think who else. Pat Martino's.
Oh, crap. Oh,
Uh,
something may be going on. I'm not sure.
like, oh wait, can you hear me?
Now I can, yeah.
Oh, poor connection. Hold on, let me see. I'll try and move it. Let me see if I can move it. Let's see if this helps. Whoa. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. I was just asking if you played guitar.
I don't I don't play any instruments. I yeah, I don't play any instruments. Uh I
Like
never
listening to
when
them.
I never shut up, so I'm like, you know what, let me create a podcast and see if I can get some bands, and maybe one day I'll interview famous bands too. And luckily
Yeah, hell yeah.
I've been able to do everything, so I'm good, I'm happy.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. Yeah, that's it's everyone for the most part. Everyone loves music. So that's it. That's awesome. But right on, cool. Yeah, those are some of my favorite guitar players, dude. And yeah, that's about it for influences.
And what's your usual process when writing a new song? Do you start with lyrics or riff or something else?
We really talk about like what is the purpose of the song that we're writing.
Okay.
You know, like that's just really important to establish kind of like what the expectation is and what the vibe is. Because that inspires me more. I know what to like put out. If someone's like, you know, tell me something and you're like, wait, what? Tell you something about what? You know, like for me that's like that's my question. Like, what do you want me to tell you about? What do you want me to tell you about? A hardcore song? Do you want me to tell you about what story do you want me to tell with the music, right? And so once I can establish like in my head musically what the story is, then I things come to my mind or like as a band we'll sit down and listen to like records or recordings and just like we'll be eating and just listening or drinking coffee or whatever and Allie or Isaac or Barrett will be like, see what they did here, can we try to do something like that? So we're really just studying people who are better at this thing than us in terms of whatever we're trying to accomplish and going, oh cool, what's that thing I can take from that person um thematically, just that idea. What's something they did that we've never done? And then what's something they did really well that we like? And so that's the big one. And that's so that's listening sessions are good. I'll write stuff and bring it in too. That's the whole first album. It's just like I was on like a crazy Led Zeppelin, Genesis, Rush. I was listening to also like Nels Klein and stuff too. I was at Julian Lage. I was listening to like blues rock and jazz and stuff. That was that whole, and some metal too. I've always loved metal, but like that whole album was me writing stuff and bringing it in and then just seeing what Allie comes up with. Over the years, recently, I would say over the last year, it's turned into more of like, let's be in a room and write together. And I like it that way. It's not always going to work. Sometimes it's good to have some pre-written material, but when you're working a lot too, I teach quite a bit and I gig. It's kind of nice to just have like the Forge the Sun moment together in the room if we're just jamming too, and then go, oh, I really like what you did there. Cool. Would that fit that one song that we wanted to do this on? So,
Yeah.
we will just jam too. It's different tools for different things, different problems. It's like really a lot of ways of songwriting that we explore. But that's what we've been doing right now. That's about it, for the writing.
That's cool, man. And what's one song that what's one song that you released that you feel really shows what Forge the Sun is all about?
Uh, I would say, for sure our most recent song. I really feel like that song, maybe not like, I don't know, how do I describe it? I just feel like it's such a well-rounded, like that is like who we are. Like there's songwriting, there's pop elements, but there's also like, we love heavy metal. I got really into hardcore. Isaac's drumming really shines on that song. Simple but heavy riffs. Barrett's kind of groovy bass playing. The harmonic. We've always been really big on, melody and harmony. I had this progression in the song, like it almost kind of has this like Latin kind of sound to it. And then it kind of goes into like very jazzy, with the with the chord voice. Like here I go to like, this is like an A7 altered chord. And then to a G9. It resolves down to a G minor 7. And then F. And then it just like, like we've always been really big on like harmony and melody, but we like the heavy stuff too. So I think I know I talk a lot. Sorry. The most recent song sums us up the best because everyone shines on it. So Peanut, you should check that out because it really is who we are as a band, top to bottom.
And now that you bring that up, what's the song about, or what made you guys, like, I saw a post on y'all's Facebook page, and I believe Peanut is Ali's dog, right?
Yeah, so Peanut's the name of Allie's dog. The concept was basically like she came into rehearsal and was like, I think the inspiration for these lyrics, because she writes the lyrics
Okay.
and most of the melodies. If she's not singing when I'm playing on guitar, she's like writing a melody over it that's independent. Sometimes she'll like double what I'm singing, but yeah. So that's like her zone she's really good at it. She's really intuitive. Um, and yeah, she's like, I think it's going to be about just. She described it as how unfair it is that we have these beautiful creatures, right? Dogs and cats, right? Just pets in general. You could have a pet alligator, whatever. Maybe you live in Florida. I don't know, but like, you know what I mean? Like whatever spiritual bond you have with this, earthly creature, and how for a lot of them we only get to spend about 10 to 15 years with them, and then they're gone. Until you see them again. In the next stage. So that's how she described it. I was like, that's awesome. I love that. So she wrote it. She called it Peanut because she thought of that when she was looking at her little dog, Peanut. Um,
Yeah.
but I've had dogs and cats my whole life. I think at one point we had like 7 dogs in my house. I mean, my mom loves dogs. We've got cats too, and they've always that's God. I love dogs, man. That's always been something really close to my heart. So, yeah, that was a great topic. I was like, dude, I'm sold on the topic. If the lyrics are good and the music kicks ass, sweet. But it's like, let's do it. And I think that fueled it too. Like if you're like, dang, I really like the purpose of the song that inspires you to write a better, piece of music. And yeah, it just kind of fuels the fire. So
Dude, I love that so much because I don't know, I feel like we're going into a different, like, I feel like rock bands are getting like vulnerable, like, like they're showing their vulnerability towards their pets, and it's like dripping into the music because Bad Flower just released a new single called Pause, and
really?
it's also about the singer's dog Maggie, and it's just so it's such a beautiful song, and like I have a dog too, a Chihuahua. Her name's Pebbles, and like I just love that I have so much music like about pets now. Like like got me all emotional and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Oh my bad. Hold on, am I still there? Sorry. Okay. That's awesome, man. That's that's and I'm not like trying to sound pretentious or anything. Like I was really proud of the song, and I put music out that I haven't been proud of. I think every musician that's been doing this long enough, from the time you have your first guitar lesson to the time you write your first song to the time you record for the first time, and when you get on to recording whatever 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever it might be, whether you're counting studio recordings or whatever it might be, you don't necessarily love everything you put out. It just sometimes goes that way. This song I'm like really proud of. I feel like but the message, like I had people tell me, oh, that song made me cry. And I was just like, well, that's all. I've done plenty of crying for my pets. So if it had that effect, I'm assuming there was a lot of tears of joy too. So that was one of my favorite things I kept hearing from several different people who are not affiliated with each other. I mean, God, there were people in the scene that told me that, and then I had other close friends and family that told me that. And I was like, oh wow, that's good. And that again, that goes to the lyrics. That's a testament to Allie's lyrics and her subject matter that she chose. So yeah, it's I'm glad you dig it, man. That's yeah. How old's your Chihuahua?
She is going to be 5. Oh, she's 5. Yeah, she's 5.
Really?
Yeah,
What's her name?
yeah. Her name's Pebbles.
Oh, God, that's such a cute name. That's a great Chihuahua name, man.
Yeah, she's a jerk.
Well, that's.
It's a Chihuahua.
I was
They're
gonna say that's the Chihuahua personality. That's their mo, dude.
Yeah, what was I gonna expect, you know?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and Also, you guys released recently Fall and Raw Tonight. What's that about?
Um, that one's like again, that's like our hardcore song, and it's like she's using like guttural like vocals. She also does the highs on there. So Allie practiced for like a year straight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she used to, if you listen to the first album, it's a rock and roll. It's basically hard rock with pop and more modern metal stuff on it. But it's like a it's like a hard rock album with quite a few moments of pop stuff in there. So she had wanted to do like the heavy vocal stuff, and she practiced a lot for like a whole year, and then she started doing it. And I was like, holy shit, this sounds awesome, and it didn't always sound like that. She really got it to a point where she worked on it. It's just what you do when you practice. You get better at it. It's that simple. So we were like, cool, let's do that. And then I actually just brought it up to them. The whole song came about. I was like, do you guys want to write a hardcore song? And like Barrett, the bass player, was like, I guess, sure. And then the drummer was like, yeah, the drummer, who's a great, I mean, Isaac's awesome. He was just like, he's got the chops for it. He's like, sure. And he really likes like ska and punk. One of his favorite bands is In Flames. So he's got the chops for it. So I was like, all right, let's do that. And so in about an hour and a half, we wrote that song. And I think then we played it like 2 days later at a show. It's about our manager, Dave, who's Barrett's dad, who's my uncle. We were at a bar, and he was like standing up. I don't know, he was a little drunk. He was a little tipsy. And he like fell over, and we caught him, and he landed. He was actually singing Tool. He was like, Tool came on the box, and he's like, who are you to, wave your finger. He was like, we're like, dude, Dave, we're cracking up. And he lost his balance. So I caught him. He hit the little, like on his bottom. He sat down really fast, and he just ripped, dude. Just ripped a giant fart.
Oh no.
And so fall and rot tonight, FART. So it's fart, and that's what it's about.
Holy smokes, bro. I love that. Holy
Dude,
smoke.
and we're like, so all the lyrics are about like toxic air and death, because it was the worst fart. It's crazy when it happened. No one said anything, and then 3 hours later, when I dropped my uncle off, and I love you, man, you'll see you later. I was gonna, Allie's in the car, and so is my girlfriend who was there. Like 3 hours later, I go, did you guys like smell something like when Dave like hit the seat? And then everyone's like, dude, that was the nastiest fart I've ever smelled.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
And we talked. It was like legendary. It was like a mushroom cloud of just death, dude. So that was that was the inspiration for that. So we're like, sick, dude. Death metal vocals, sing about rotting flesh and death. Perfect. It's about Dave's fart. Awesome. So
Dude, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that one too.
yeah, just read the lyrics, dude. So that's kind of like, that's the goofy hardcore. That's like so hard. That's so like death metal. Just write something goofy that's heavy, but about something goofy. Death Clock. Brandon Smalls does that all the time. Write a death metal song about coffee. Whatever it might be. In this case, it's about a fart. 8-year-old humor. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the story for that, and that's one I really like too, because that was like that. There's nothing in our discography that really sounds like that beginning to end. So I mean, you could play that song at a death metal festival, and I think people would dig it. So yeah, that's how we came about that one. So
Amazing, bro. And what I did notice that when I first heard your music, like the earlier stuff, I'm like, oh, this is a really chill band. Like, I love it. Like, and then once I started to get deeper into the discography, and you guys started to get heavier, I'm like, wait, is it the same band? And then I would hear her voice. I'm like, yeah, it's the same band. I'm just like, wow, like I wasn't expecting this, but this is cool. Oh, I don't hear any sound from you.
because that's
Oh, there you go.
that's we kind of strive for that. Again, like
Oh, please pause.
Yeah, I don't know who's calling me. Sorry. Anyways, that's a big thing that we try to do is, again, go different routes with our songwriting, and I do sometimes, I wonder if like, is anybody noticing? And we've had people notice for sure. It's just, I, yeah, I think that's funny. Yeah, because it's like she sounds like not only is the production different, but her style is different too. She's more rocking. There's more like kind of Janis Joplin rock and roll style to her voice in the earlier stuff, and then later, yeah, she's really worked on developing her death metal arsenal in terms of her voice.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
like I hear I see something big like in probably like the next 5 years and like completely different, honestly, like that's gonna be cool to see, grow and evolve and like all that good stuff.
right on, man. Yeah, thanks. I always joke with them. I was like, I can't wait till we put out our country song.
Hey,
You
I mean
know?
everybody's doing it, so
Yeah, why
I
not, dude? Like, I mean, shit. Post Malone did it. Beyonce did it. Whatever.
I I heard, I'm not sure how true this is, but that Akon is gonna make his whole discography country too.
Dude, holy shit. That's a 180. My God.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I mean, I went to Nashville. Like, we went to Nashville when we were on tour a couple of years ago, and that was awesome. And country kind of it changed my perspective seeing that stuff live. Some of the best guitar players I've seen are those hardcore country. My guitar. Let's see my picks. Or my strings out of tune. Let's see, what is it? Those like chicken pickers that go.
Oh
Yeah, sounds.
yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
It's the Music Beyond podcast.
Music can be up. Oh no.
That kind of stuff. But yeah, no, that's I'd be down to pretty much any style that if it sounds good, dude, I'm down to play it. That's just kind of my mentality, dude. Like if it sounds, I really don't care what the genre is. And usually, if I don't like something, I try to figure out why do other people like it, and then that usually helps me like it more. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I just recently got into Post Malone. Thank you, Fortnite, I guess.
right
Um,
on.
and I'm just like, oh man, this is so cool. Like, but I'm still kind of like, I love his hip hop stuff, but I'm kind of scared of listening to his new stuff. And I'm just like, oh man, like, what if it sucks?
Yeah, well, you got to just do the was it Edward Furlong said this? He said, "Expect the worst, hope for the best."
Yeah,
Assume it's gonna suck ass, and then it can't be worse than that, right? Like just imagine the worst thing, and then it'll surprise you.
yeah, maybe. And what's been your favorite moment as a band so far, whether it be on stage or in the studio?
Favorite moment? I would say we opened up for Winger. That was pretty freaking cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Winger was pretty fun. They're the guys that do that. She's only 17 or whatever. I forgot what age it was. One of those songs that did not age well. Good
Yeah.
song, dude. I mean, shit, but like, one of those age jams. They're incredible. Like, they're a great live band. My God, such great musicians. Super underrated. Very proggy on like a lot of stuff, like all in their music. And they get unfortunately just summed up like I just did, ironically, into one song. But that was pretty cool. We played at District 142, which is this cool venue in Wyandotte, and I think it was almost a sold out show. I want to say there was close to 1,000 people there, and we opened up, and yeah, we killed it on the merch, and we had a lot of cool conversations with people during the show and after. That was really fun, and the venue treated us really well. We had our own like green room and stuff, so that was pretty sweet. Big festivals are always really nice. We opened up for. We were like one of the supporting acts for the what's that? I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, Weedus. So that was cool. What else? Arts Beats and Eats is great. We opened up for, or the supporting act, whatever you want to say. Collective Soul and Hailstorm. That was sweet.
oh, dude, that's sick.
Yeah, that was cool. And there's like God, I want to say there's like 80,000 people at that festival. I mean, it's just packed, dude. Um, it's Royal Oak is just slammed. They shut down all the streets, and it's just people walking around buying. It's an art festival, arts beats and eats. So it's music, art, all that stuff. And the city books, Chevelle. Like I think Chevelle played one year. I know you mentioned them.
They
God,
were my first. They were my first concert. Chevelle, Bush, and Filter.
lay down, the threat is real. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were fun. I'm really looking forward to the summer. We're playing Upheaval, which
Oh, nice.
yeah, the day before Rob Zombie's playing, and then we're playing on the bill with Falling in Reverse. So that'll be exciting. Grand Rapids is a super cool town. And they certainly love their metal. We've played some shows out there, and a lot of those venues are full of people who love that style of music. So we can play our heavy stuff. So
Hell yeah. And we're almost done here. I only have a few more questions
yeah, for
left.
sure.
Uh, what kind of fans do like look forward to next? Like music videos, tour plans. I know you guys are releasing a new single, or you guys released a new song tonight or today.
We're gonna release one at midnight. It's Decay. So I would just say like the promo stuff for that's gonna probably go out like either midnight or tomorrow. But yeah, the new single, we've got music written that we're sitting on that we need to get in the studio to record. That's already part of our set. We've been running it. So that's really exciting. The festival stuff. One of our objectives this year was not to play 40 shows. 40
Okay.
shows in one year, especially when
Yeah.
it's a local band, you'd kind of drive everyone bananas. Hey, come to my show, come to my show, come to my show. I'm playing again, come to my show. So we kind of made a commitment to only play about, 13, 15-ish shows and only do like festivals and high paying gigs and really unique shows that just sound fun. So I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to whatever comes around the corner. Our schedule, we left it super open so that we could do that. So yeah, just summer festivals that hopefully we get on, in addition to Upheaval. So, I would say, yeah, to be on the lookout for the fests and then the new music.
That's sick, bro. And if you were stuck in an elevator with any musician, unalived or alive, who would it be and what would you talk about? And I say it like that because of the TikTok.
Oh yeah, unalive. Yeah, totally. No, I know. Yep, all the code words because it's
Yeah,
we're being
just
we're
for
being
for
watched.
yeah, for all the Spotify and Apple Music listen or Apple Podcast listeners, we're recording this on TikTok. So if there was any musician unalived or alive, like who would you want to talk about? Who would you want to talk to if you were stuck in an elevator with that person?
Hmm. That's a good question. Let's see. Um, God, probably. Uh, I don't, what would actually be pretty cool is Buzz Osborne from the Melvins. I really think that guy is super intelligent and he's a great songwriter, and I love his guitar playing. So I'd like to talk to him. I think he's a deep thinker, and he doesn't come off as a pretentious, you know, person. So Buzz Osborne from the Melvins would be or King Buzzo. That's what they call him. That'd probably be my choice. I have other players that I think, I love their music. I even love their music. I listen to it more. But, depending on, they'd say, don't meet your heroes and stuff and story.
Yeah,
It got it. You wouldn't want that to ruin it for you. But with a lot of interviews I've seen with Buzz Osborne, I think, yeah, he'd probably be the guy I'd want to be stuck in an elevator with for, 2 hours, whatever, and just pick his brain on stuff, really whatever. The guy's a reader. He writes awesome music, great guitar player, knows a lot about music, not just from a playing standpoint, but like listening, So I think he could probably hit me to some some really cool music that I probably have no idea about. So yeah, that'd be my choice. What about you? What would you choose,
Oh,
Journey?
honestly, I'm not sure because man, Stevie Ray Vaughan is gone, Tom Petty is gone. Like I I really love both of those guys, so if maybe I could get both of them in like in an elevator, like that would be cool. Cause Petty and Stevie are like one of my favorite two musicians, and
Free,
yeah,
free falling. Using my Mickey Mouse falsetto voice, but yeah, dude, Tom Petty. I love Tom Petty. I don't. Do you like Wildflowers? I don't know if you like that album.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, of course.
that's dude. I remember when Tom Petty died. Man, I came home. My mom's a huge Tom Petty fan. Huge, or I should say, unalive. Sorry, when he was
Yeah,
unalive. We'll redo that. I remember when Tom Petty unalived, or was
yeah.
unalive. Um, and I came home and I thought something had happened to like my dad, right? Like that's instantly my
Oh
mom was like, oh my, I
no.
mean, she was just bawling, and I go, Mom, what's wrong? She goes, Tom Petty, and I was like, oh my gosh. His music was in my house all the time, dude. He's super awesome. That guy just I know he was like in his I think he was 67 when he passed away, but I still feels gone too soon kind of thing, you know? So
Yeah, and honestly, what you just described right there kind of gave me a Richie Valens vibe, where Bob goes outside and he's like Richie, or the mom goes outside and like Richie.
oh, at the end of the movie, are you talking about at the end of the movie? At the end of La
Yeah,
Bamba? Dude,
yeah.
yeah, isn't she like outside? It's like day, isn't she like doing laundry or something outside or something? And yeah, she like feel like she gets the news or she feels it. Yeah, dude. God, I haven't seen La Bamba in like 20 years, dude. That's
This is your
awesome.
reminder to go watch La Bamba.
Yeah, dude. Oh my, I used to watch it on VH1 all the time. That movie was on VH1 all the time, dude. They would
It's
just
so
play it.
sick.
Dude, VH1 just like they had that Rock Docs series, and then they had all those like addictive garbage reality shows like Rock of Love and like Flavor of Love, and I love it
Yeah,
more. I love, dude. Little fat 9-year-old me was like, oh, I just loved it, like all the gossip and stuff, and that,
yeah,
dude, I ate that stuff up. But that channel, yeah, they would have like La Bamba playing nonstop. A lot of really hard to find, at least at the time, because this is before streaming. This is like
yeah,
I want to
yeah.
say 2005. And you would just be, I felt lucky if I could catch the middle or the ending of like Song Remains the Same or whatever, an Iron Maiden documentary. I think it was called Flight 666. Whatever was playing, but yeah, La Bamba played a ton. They just had that playing nonstop. That's a good movie. It's fun.
Yeah, that was
You
I'm
channeled
gonna
a
have to go watch
memory.
La Bamba now.
You channeled
Yeah.
a memory, dude. I forgot about that. You just woke something up. I was like, dude.
Tonight we're all Mexicans,
Tonight we're all exactly.
and
Absolutely.
I'll be Mexican tomorrow too because I'm Mexican. So,
Yeah. And then tomorrow I'll go back to being Italian.
oh, that's
Awesome.
awesome.
Sweet, man.
But where can we find you guys?
You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, TikTok, or you can find our music on pretty much all streaming services. Spotify, preferably, if you have that, but yeah, Apple Music, YouTube Music. Yeah, and then if you go to our Instagram or Facebook, you can find our link tree on those websites and our TikTok as well. And you can find our merch store. We've got a merch store where you can go and support the band, and whether it's T-shirts or whatever, you can do like custom merch too. And then it also will display where we're playing and new releases as well. So yeah, those are all we're everywhere pretty much. I think everywhere besides Bandcamp.
Yeah. Oh, we're losing them again.
But yeah,
I want to thank you for spending some time with me tonight. This was a great interview, Everybody listening, thank y'all for listening. All the TikTokers that stayed, you guys rock. Don't forget to follow
Right
everybody.
on.
Follow me, follow
Absolutely.
him. Let's become rock buddies, rock friends, music friends. And
Yeah.
remember, what's up?
Oh, I was gonna say that playlist. If you go that dude, let me know about that playlist. Also, send me any of those bands that you had mentioned.
Yeah, dude, for sure, for sure. And remember everybody that without music, life would be a mistake.